Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, just hello. I am drinking some cold brew and we are gonna talk some true crime and makeup. And yeah, today we're talking about Diane Schuler and the horrible accident that happened, and we're gonna try to understand why this happened. And yeah, it's kind of a mystery. We're gonna try to decipher it, break it down a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you the case. And yeah, so drinking this cold brew, grab whatever snacks you want. It's probably gonna be a longer video. Grab some wine, some coffee, some soda, some water, some whatever you want to drink. I'm totally here for it. We welcome all drinks, but I am gonna drink this cold brew. It's so good. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this case. So talking about this case is like devastating and really sad. Of course, it's just kids are involved and it's just a really bad accident, a really fatal accident. So let's get started. Yes, I definitely use a hairbrush for the edges, girl, for my eyebrows, because that's just what I like to do. So Diane was born November 13th, 1972 in Floral Park, New York. So she's a New Yorker. Can't imagine what it would be like to live in New York. If you live there, let me know. How is it? I just feel like it's so much, just so busy and congested. But anyways, she had 4 brothers and her mom left when they were pretty young. So I'm pretty sure that affected Diane in some way. And I can't imagine being little, especially a woman, and your mom leaves the family. That's devastating. Now, her siblings, her brothers ended up kind of reconnecting a relationship later on with her mother. But however, Diane really didn't. She didn't keep a relationship with her mother for whatever reason. She just kind of moved on with her life. For everybody that knew Diane said she was so strong, she was beautiful, she was a great mother, because Diane was a mother. She also was the boss of the house, is also what her husband was saying, and everyone around her knew her to be. She was a boss. She was just that bitch, okay? So she was a mother of 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and she was married to Daniel Schuler. So that's where she gets her last name, is from her man's Daniel. So she always wanted to be a mom, and she was honestly, you guys, a great mom from what these little fluffies in the air. So she always wanted to be a mom, and everyone around her just said she was the best mom. I mean, you guys, come on. She was on the PTA. Like, we all know those kind of moms that do the most and they're extra and they are really showing up for their kids. That's amazing. And she was one of those mamas, okay? She was showing up, doing the PTA stuff, and she was just really involved in her kids' life, which I think is amazing. I think that any mom should be super involved in their kids' life. I hope that's the way I'll be. I don't know about the PTA stuff. I don't know if that's for me, but I love that she did that for her kids. She was also really known to be really put together and organized, which I love and admire, because I'm one of those kind of people. I love to be organized. It just makes your life so much better. So she was organized, she was put together, and you know, she just had it all going on. So on July 26th, 2009, the family decides that they want to go camping, and it's almost the end of summer, so you know, they want to get their last like camping trip in, their last summer trip, which I totally understand, because who doesn't want to enjoy the last excuse me, the last days of summer? I know I would. So they decide to go camping. They load up the kids and they head to Hunter Lake Campground, and that's also in New York. I think it's Parkway, New York. Correct me down low if I'm wrong. I don't live in New York, but yes, they head to camping. And I looked at photos, and you guys, it's such a beautiful camp spot. I actually have never been real camping. I went to like camps in school, but we always like did the whole cabin thing. So I would imagine, like, I can't imagine just roughing it and just doing like tent life and just really living out there and just doing that whole camping thing, okay? So they also took their nieces with them camping on this trip. They took 3 nieces, with them. So it was Diane's sister, I believe, Diane's sister. She took their kids with them. So she took their 3 girls with them on this camping trip, which I thought was really nice. Really nice of them. The kids were between the ages of 5, 7, and 8. So they were all kind of around the same age group on this trip, so I'm sure they were having a lot of fun. So they had a really good time camping and just enjoying nature, just being out there and living it up the last few days of summer. Need my powder brush. The day that they were leaving, Daniel woke up and made himself some coffee about 7:30 a.m. And then he woke up Diane, and then they woke up the kids, and they started packing up and getting ready to go home from their camping trip. And you know, it was a little ways of a drive, so they start getting a head start on driving. Now Daniel took his truck. I believe he brought his truck, and Diane was borrowing the car from the girls' dad. So the nieces that went with them, they were borrowing their car, so their dad's car, for the trip. So it was like a minivan, like a red minivan. And Daniel took his truck, and he ended up riding in a separate car in his truck with the dog, and Diane took the minivan with all of the kids in the minivan. So about 9:30 a.m. Diane and the kids were probably hungry, and they ended up stopping at good old Mickey D's. Like everybody knows McDonald's, and if you don't know, then that's honestly, you're not missing much. I don't like McDonald's, but you know, they were hungry. They stopped at McDonald's, and everybody said that Diane seemed fine. There was nothing weird out of the ordinary. She was talking to the staff, like, you know, making jokes, having a good time at McDonald's. So after that, they end up going to a gas station, and it is shown on CCTV footage that Diane is looking for pain medication. I guess they cooperated with the employees that work there, but they didn't have the pain medicine that she was looking for. So after this whole incident happened, I think they talked to the employees, and they checked the CCTV footage and saw, you know, Diane went in there, and they said she was looking for pain medicine, and they didn't have the pain medicine that she was looking for, so she ended up walking out. Now, no one knows really what the pain medicine was for or why. It's suspected that she had a toothache, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So she leaves the gas station, and she heads on back on the road. And side note, if you ever had a toothache, like, girl, that thing hurts. I cannot do tooth pain. Tooth pain is one of the most terrible pains that I have experienced, and tooth pain is terrible. I have to like pop like 3 ibuprofens before I can even like start to feel better, and it takes forever if they even decide to work that day. So if Diane was having tooth pain, yeah, that is some serious-ish. So she left the gas station about 11 a.m., headed back on the road to head home from the camping trip. So she was driving on Interstate 86 and 87, and the police started getting these really weird phone calls about a person driving a minivan, all crazy, tailgating, flashing lights, like weaving in and out of traffic. Diane was just she was going in on her driving, like, I don't know. So police just started receiving these weird reports from other people on the road, just saying that, like, hey, there's someone out here driving absolutely crazy, like, come check this out. So she called her brother and told them that they would be a little late on their way home, coming home from the camping trip, because I'm sure he was probably starting to wonder, like, where are my kids, like, how is everything going? So Diane calls him and says that she's gonna be a little bit late. After that, Diane was seen throwing up or being like sick or something on the side of the road. We're still not sure like what she was doing, but she was kind of like hunched over and wasn't looking honestly too well, and we don't really know why, but she was hunched over, and it's assumed that she had been throwing up on the side of the road. And then after that, she was seen again. I guess she got back in the car, and she was throwing up again on the side of the road. So Diane was just not feeling good apparently, and according to the reports, like she just, yeah, there was something going on and she just wasn't feeling good. She wasn't feeling herself. So after Diane gets sick on the road, Diane's brother gets another phone call. Am I like really, I feel like I'm really like, so after Diane gets sick on the road for the second time, Diane's brother gets another phone call from Diane's phone. This time though, it's his daughters, and his daughters are telling him that there's something wrong with Aunty Diane. They didn't know what was wrong with her, but they just kept saying that there's something wrong with Aunty Diane, which is honestly terrifying. I can't even imagine that feeling that they had at that moment, knowing that, you know, they're away from their kids, someone else is taking care of them, they're away from home, and you get a phone call like that. I can't even, as a parent, I can't even imagine. But yeah, that's what happens, and they call their dad, and then Diane gets on the phone and tells her brother that the kids are fine, they're just playing, which I don't really know how that came about, like if she was just trying to like cover up her feeling sick or something. But the kids were definitely like panicked and terrified on this phone call. They knew that like something was absolutely wrong by the tone of their voice. They were like crying, and you know, they were just obviously terrified in this phone call. So obviously it's super alarming to their parents. And so Diane's family knew something was absolutely wrong, and something just wasn't right. Something just wasn't right with Diane. So suddenly the phone call just randomly just kind of disconnects, and we don't know why. The phone call just ends, and they're like, oh shit, like we need to somehow find out where they are, get in contact with them. So the family kept calling her over and over again, but no answer. It would just kind of go straight to voicemail, which is again so crazy and scary. So scary. So after the family kept calling Diane's phone and nobody was answering, they decided to call 911. So about 1:30 p.m. 911 gets another phone call that there is a driver that is driving really close, like to the edge of the road on the highway. So that was another like phone call. There was tons of 911 calls during this whole like time period of Diane driving home, just reporting all different kinds of things. So Diane is driving like on the shoulder of the highway for some reason, like really close to the shoulder. So Diane is on the highway still, and she has in front of her an exit. Now the exit has two different signs saying one way and don't enter. So obviously she wasn't supposed to go that way. But what does Diane do? Unfortunately, she goes that way. And yeah, Diane ends up going the one way. So Diane is headed into oncoming traffic on the highway, going about like 30 miles an hour or so, which is like really slow. But eventually she does pick up speed and starts going a lot faster. Right away people started calling like, hey, there's somebody going the opposite way. There's people that had to like duck and dodge her, and literally like people are reporting that Diane, no, not on the beauty blender. People are reporting that Diane literally was just like looking ahead straight, just driving hella casually, like not even bothered at all that she's going the wrong direction, which I think is so crazy. Like, how could you just be so out of it that you don't recognize you're going the wrong way? But on the highway though, so you guys, yeah, so she was completely unfazed that she was even going the wrong way. Diane is going about like 85 miles an hour now at this time, so girl has picked up speed, okay? And she ends up crashing head on with another car. I believe it was a Chevy.
What road do we have? What road is this? Clinton Road.
What? Hold on, stop yelling. Listen, I'm now sitting here to the police officer.
Okay, are you out at the scene right now?
Yes, I'm at the scene.
Okay, are there any injuries?
No, we have fatalities.
Fatality at the scene?
We have
Okay, stay on the phone with me. I'm going to give you EMS, okay? Hold on.
Okay. So the ambulance too, we have a possible car fire. Car may blow up as well.
Witnesses say she was driving erratically along this road, weaving in and out of traffic and honking her horn.
Now, this accident, you guys, would end up really fatal and changing everybody's lives like they knew it once was, just in all a matter of a few minutes. Like, I can't even imagine how the family feels. But in this accident, the people that were riding in the car that Diane crashed into, all 3 of them died, and they were men, and they all died. Michael Bastardi, which was 81 years old, his son Guy, which was 49 years old, and then I believe they also had their 71-year-old friend with them as well. And all 3 of them unfortunately passed away in this accident. Now, on to Diane's car and who survived in this horrible accident. So, like I said, Diane was going 85 miles an hour, which is really fast on the highway, especially going the opposite way. And she crashed head on to the Bugatti family that passed away. And all of the kids died except for one. Her son, which was protected by the deceased bodies of the little girls in the back. Now, the kids weren't even strapped in, which I also find so strange. There was like no evidence of car seats or being strapped in. It's so weird. So yeah, the kids hadn't been strapped in, which I think is so strange. Like, why weren't the kids strapped in? There was like no car seats. Like, I don't really understand that. Like, you have a whole bunch of kids, but there's like no car seats. I mean, they were a little bit, they weren't like babies, but they, you know, should have still been like in a car seat, but there was no car seats. And the kids were not strapped in. So her son was the only one who survived. Now, one of her nieces did end up making it to the hospital, but then was pronounced dead shortly after that, so she didn't make it. Now, as for Diane died instantly as well, and I believe she was like kind of thrown out of the car. There's pictures online of her deceased body, which I think is crazy. Thank God there's no pictures of kids. I don't even think there should be pictures of her. Like, imagine if you were the family and that was your mom out there looking like that. I mean, the pictures are crazy and really sad. I don't suggest you go to look them up. Now, I can't get over the car seat thing. I just feel like that's such a huge thing. Like, I am a mom of 2 and I'm really crazy about car seat safety. Maybe that's just because I've been in a really bad car accident myself, so it's probably just my own anxiety. Yeah, it's probably just my own anxiety. But I don't know, the car seat thing is weird, and the seatbelts thing, they weren't in seatbelts. Like, Diane, what was going on? Now, for the son that ended up surviving, he had tons of broken bones, and he had to go like a lot of physical therapy, as well as has a nerve condition. I don't know if his nerve condition will ever go away. I don't think so. I think it's something that he's gonna have to, unfortunately, just live with, and I think that's so terribly sad. So he lost his mom, his sister, all his cousins, and has to live with this horrible like nerve thing, and he had to stay in the hospital for like months. Now, something that I didn't mention earlier that I thought also was like strange is Diane threw the phone, like she threw the phone away when she was being sick one of those times, which I thought was so weird. Like, after that phone call from her brother, the reason why she wasn't answering is because she threw the phone. So I don't know really what that's about. There is some strange things in this case that I really don't understand and really don't make sense. So we're gonna get into some more strange things and just really talk about it and try to understand. I hear the baby. Let me go get it. So of course when the crash happened, authorities were called like right away and police came out, and it was just honestly a really horrific scene. I can't even imagine seeing something like that. So when the police start investigating and taking a closer look at the evidence and just kind of seeing what's going on, like why all of this had to happen or happened. So they started running some tests on Diane just to see like what was up and why this happened. Like why was she driving on the wrong side of the road? And the test came back. They did a toxicology report. Now get this. Her blood alcohol was 0.19, and in the state of New York, the legal limit to drive is 0.8%. And they also said that she had high levels of bud in her system. So you guys know that green, that THC, that Mary Jane, she was having that in her system, which honestly, you guys, we'll talk a little bit about that right now, because just because you have some bud in your system, some Mary Jane, doesn't mean that you were high at the time of the car accident. Her husband said and friends said that yeah, she did like to use weed to, you know, calm her nerves, help her anxiety, which I definitely think it can. Me personally though, it makes my anxiety so much worse. But I mean, hey, that's just me. But yeah, it doesn't mean that she was like high when that happened. Like that marijuana stays in your system for so long, for weeks to even months after you smoked it. So, and it turns out she was kind of a regular degular kind of smoker. But what her husband says, Daniel Schuler, is that she did not smoke right before they left that morning, or she didn't have anything to drink. So this is where like all the controversy and confusion really comes in at, because no one's really understanding what happened with Diane, because the family is really claiming and wholeheartedly sticking to the fact that Diane would never drink and drive, and it just gets really confusing from here on out.
Now trying to clear her name.
I want to know if she had a stroke or not, because what they're saying is not true. Or I wouldn't be doing this.
Spanish, there was kids in the car. So I went down the hill with this other fella, and we were trying to get the door up. The door wouldn't open. We couldn't get the sliding door. We were looking for the driver. We couldn't find her. The car was fully engulfed in the front.
I mean, here's my thing. I feel like it's just weird, because like why would Diane get like super fucked up right before she knows she has to go on this really long drive? I don't know if it was like really long, but you know, she had to drive with a whole bunch of kids in the car. Like super weird. But they also found a broken bottle of vodka on the driver's side on the floor. But the family really does not think that she would have done this before her driving. And I personally, like, I don't know, like the toxicology reports say that she was though, so I don't really know what to believe. But the family is really like hell-bent that it was not, it couldn't have been true that she was drinking and driving. And everybody said, you guys remember, like she was totally fine before, like, you know, when they were at McDonald's and at the gas station, like people talked to her and she was totally fine. If you see her on the CCTV footage, she's totally acting normal. She's not looking drunk or impaired at all. So it's just so weird. Now, Daniel said that the bottle of vodka was always in the car, that really wasn't anything new. That's something that they just keep in the car for camping trips. So I guess this family like used to go camping like really often, because He said that that was always there, but it was smashed in the front seat. So, I mean, that's weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, the family just thought it was just so impossible that Diane could have been under any of the influence of anything. Now, I wonder if, like, because remember they were saying that she had a possible toothache. Now, Diane, it's so hard to talk doing this mascara. So Diane had a dentist appointment. Looking a little pale, need a bronzer up real quick. So Diane had a dentist appointment and she ended up going and she needed a tooth extraction. Now, oh Lord, I hate the dentist too, so I totally feel Diane on this one. So she didn't end up getting the procedure and she ended up just like dipping. Like she was like, I'm out of here, I'm gone. So she ends up running out on the dentist appointment. So I don't know, it's like a part of me is like, so she was looking for that pain medicine and couldn't get it, so maybe she drank the alcohol to like numb the pain. But then another part of me is like, well, why would you do that? Because you're driving like a whole bunch of kids. Like you guys, I don't know, like I've wrestled with this case for like over a week now and I just really don't know what happened, like what happened and why. Like really nobody knows. But you know, the reports do say that she had a blood alcohol level of 0.19. So I mean, she had to be drunk, right? But her family literally claims that that couldn't have been the case, that wasn't the case. But like numbers don't lie. So all of the tests came back from her autopsy and it came back that the organs, all of her organs were intact. So it's not like she was some secret alcoholic and nobody knew. Like everything looked normal and fine with her organs. So it's just really strange that like she would just be super messed up. Like she had like 10 drinks in her system is what they were even saying. Like that 0.19 was equivalent to 10 drinks in her body. Now where she got these 10 drinks, I don't know. I guess it's that bottle of vodka. Like it has to be, right? Daniel thinks her husband that she just had some kind of medical emergency, but he definitely does not think that she was under the influence. Now I don't know, I feel like he's probably, honestly, in my personal opinion, I feel like he's just in denial. I know that was her husband and he knows her best, but like I don't know, like why would she drive on the opposite side of the road? Another thing is, why would she throw her phone? I can't get over the phone in the car seats thing. Like no car seats, no seat belts. And she threw her phone when she was being like sick on the side of the road. A part of me is like, did she do this on purpose? But I don't know. Like driving on the wrong side of the road, she wasn't phased at all. Like I have no idea. Was she in some kind of like psychosis? Like no one knows. So the police end up doing their final report and they list this whole accident as a homicide due to reckless driving on Diane's part. And they also say it's because she was intoxicated while driving. And Daniel still claims to this day that that just couldn't have been the case. But like, dude, the numbers are there. The toxicology report is there. And so what happens after this? Kind of a lot. The Bastardi family is of course pissed and hold on. Set this girl really quickly. So of course the Bastardi family is like pissed. They just feel like the person who did this is, you know, gone. There's no one to pay and no one to give them justice for losing their loved ones, which, you know, I totally understand. I completely understand that. I would feel some kind of way too. Like the only person responsible is gone, dead. But yeah, and so they end up suing Daniel. They ended up suing Daniel and the niece's parents that, you know, they lost their nieces and their kids in the accident for specified damages and reckless conduct, which I think, like, okay, my personal input here, like I understand they lost loved ones, but damn, these people lost loved ones too, you know, and suing anybody isn't gonna bring them back. That's just my personal opinion. Like, I don't know, I think that was a little shady to sue the family that lost 3 girls and the wife Diane and his daughter. Like, they're completely grieving too. But that's not all that happened. Daniel hired his own lawyer, and his lawyer found the same thing. Like, he couldn't make any other sense out of what happened besides that Diane was intoxicated. Because again, you guys, like, numbers don't lie, so I don't really know why the family is so hell-bent, but a lot of it doesn't really make any sense. Like, why would she just get all like lit right before she's about to drive all these kids? Like, I don't really get it. Because again, you guys, PTA mom, one of like the really put together, organized moms, you know, like why would she do this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. She wasn't even a drinker all like that. So I don't know. So the parents of the nieces end up suing Daniel as well for their kids being terrified and for their daughters fearing of death. I didn't even know that was like something you could sue for, but yeah, you could sue for that. And they ended up trying to file a lawsuit against Daniel, and then Daniel ends up suing the state of New York for the roads being unsafe, which, I mean, I kind of don't understand that, because she was driving on the opposite side of the highway, like the wrong way. I don't know. I think Daniel personally, in my opinion, is a little out of touch with reality, just a little bit. Like, not to talk shit or anything, but I just think that, like, I don't know, you're gonna sue New York for unsafe roads when she was driving on the wrong side of the highway against oncoming traffic. And then Daniel ends up suing the brother for saying that their car was unsafe, because remember, they borrowed their car, the parents of the nieces that ended up all passing away, they borrowed their car for this camping trip. So then he ends up suing them, saying that their car was unsafe. But again, Daniel, wrong side of the highway, oncoming traffic. I don't really understand like what leg he thinks he has to stand on, but that's what happened. I don't make the stories. I'm here to report them. So all of the lawsuits actually end up getting dropped. So like every single one, I don't think not one of them went through. I could be wrong, but from what I was reading is I think all of the lawsuits got dropped. So no one got any money, or no one really got sued. But they went through this whole like legal process, and it was just like, of course, really intense. Everyone's super emotional. Everybody lost people. And, you know, people are just pointing the finger kind of everywhere, and just everybody just wants someone to blame, because they can't really blame Diane, or they can, but she's gone, so nothing's really gonna come from it. Now, for the Hans family update, they actually had another baby, which is amazing, because they lost 3 of their girls, and, you know, they ended up doing like a really nice foundation, something in their name. So they ended up having another baby by reversing her tubes, the mom's tubes. I believe her name is Warren. The names like were getting mixed up to me, because Warren I feel like is a dude's name, but anyways. She ends up getting her tubes reversed and having another baby. Her friends talked her into it, and she said it's like one of the best things that she ended up doing. She said that she didn't deserve to be a mom again, but then this really helped her heal, and their new baby brings so much life, and I think that's great. I'm so glad that they had another kid. Just not to replace their girls, of course. They're always gonna long and miss for them and mourn them, but at least they have like a breath of fresh air with this new baby, and they are absolutely loving her. And I'm sure they don't take anything for granted, because they realize how much things can change in just an instant. And I don't know, my heart goes out to the family. I can't even imagine losing everything and everyone in that split of a second. I think that is so devastating, and I am so sorry to the families that lost everybody, and I'm so sorry for Diane as well, and of course all the children. This case was absolutely devastating and a little mind-racking, and I don't or a little mind-boggling, I should say. I just don't really understand what happened and why. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that Diane was just simply on the low, she just drank and then got too drunk and then crashed? Like, why was she on the side of the road? Why weren't there any car seats? Why did she throw her phone out of the car or out when she was being sick? Like, I don't really understand what was going on, and a lot of people don't either. And the family still claims to this day there's just no way that she was intoxicated. Daniel really thinks she had some kind of medical emergency. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you think down below about this whole case, and let's just chat about it in the comments. I would really appreciate if you could drop some comments, some likes. It really helps your girl out. This channel is new, and I really hope it grows and flourishes, and I just love sharing these people's stories with you guys. And today's case was just so hard and devastating. I've been researching it for like a whole week, and it's very sad, and I just still don't understand exactly what happened. But again, let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you guys like. Just because you like this video doesn't mean you like the story. It just means you're supporting me and you like the way I told the story, or the look, or whatever the case was. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe if you're not already. Really helps your girl out. It's free. Just hit that button down below. Hit that bell notification to notify you when I have a new video. I should have a new video up every week for you guys. True crime and makeup. If you want to see more of my life, or my house, or my kids, whatever, I'll leave my first channel down below, where it's everything mom life, vlog, just all lifestyle stuff. We share all kinds of stuff over there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram for more day-to-day stuff. I share a lot of mom stuff over there, and just, again, lifestyle stuff. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching to the end if you're still here. I really appreciate everyone who decides to subscribe to my channel and support me. You guys don't even know how much it means. And yeah, you guys, so until next video, if you have any case suggestions, please leave those down below for me as well. I'm gathering up a whole list of all true crime stories that I need to cover, and yeah, no case is really off limits. I'll talk about any case, and yeah, so leave those down below too. And until next video, you guys, bye.